Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. Well, the weather forecast for the next few days isn't too rough. We've got this big low in the Tasman that is falling apart, but we've got the subtropical rain which is still affecting the northeastern side of the North Island. It's this area here. Today's animated wind map shows total precipitable water. In other words, where's all the moisture in the air? And the areas with the highest chance of rain that you can see here is in the blue or purple colouring, and the drier airflows like the orange you can see over there towards eastern Australia, and of course they're still 100% in drought in New South Wales. So this low is falling apart, but this little area of rain continues on, and the totals are pretty significant just in that eastern corner where you could still be getting up towards 100 millimetres of rain in some localised spots. But it doesn't take much before it's just the usual stuff. The big area there in yellow, green and blue, you're only talking about 2 to 10 millimetres, so that's right at the bottom of the scale. So really it is just this little corner that's got the risk of some heavy rain, and as we've seen over the last 24 hours or so, there is a little bit of flooding chances with these downpours. They're big and slow, subtropical, but by the time we get to lunchtime Friday, it's all out to sea. So it should be gone by Friday morning. In fact, it should even be clearing by Thursday night. But you can see the low in the Tasman has really weakened, and now the one to the east suddenly looks exactly like the one in the Tasman just did. All the energy's just been pulled around and transferred over there. It's basically bunny hopped over us, so we don't get the windy change from that low. Instead, we just get a few showers coming into the north. A couple of them could be heavy, as we've been seeing lately, might be a heavy downpour with it, and many parts of the South Island pretty much dry. Let's get to Saturday. Things warm up on Saturday. We've got a nor'wester blowing in across the country. Might be a lingering shower here and there. Otherwise dry, warmer than average, and fairly sunny as well. But by Sunday, it all goes downhill. We've got a colder change coming into the South Island. The North Island's got a showery, windy change in some areas, especially the western sides. And then we get to next week, and Monday looks even colder. That southerly change spreads all the way up to the far north. So everyone's got a cooler Monday next week. It'll feel a little bit more like winter again, but only briefly. And then we get to Tuesday, and the next high is already starting to push in. That might even bring a few frost around the central part of the South Island, and in the North Island, cold, windy sou'westers blowing through. And in fact, we're just keeping an eye on what might happen next week. There's a little area of low pressure just off the east coast. That might deepen, and it might just fuel another couple more days of windy weather next week over the North Island as that big high rolls in. So there is a lot going on between now and the middle of next week. That's all from me. Our next update will be around lunchtime on Friday.